Thanks for the launch of the Single Dads Network yesterday. I watched your conversation with Umto, where you actually shared your story and where we come from as a family, and then of course me going overseas and spending time there and chasing my careers over the years.
Yeah.
And eventually coming up to Joburg and living with you. I just want to check a sense of how that process unfolded for you and the lessons you took from it. And I also want to just make sure that how our relationship has built over the time has helped you grow as a person as well.
Yeah.
You want to share that background for us?
Yeah, so if you remember very well, when you left, I think I was still in primary. And I had left my mom's house, so living with my mom when I was very young, and went to live with my aunt.
Yes.
So living with my mom, of course, I didn't really have a relationship with you. I don't think we really had a father-daughter relationship, because I remember vividly, the only memory I have of you would be just you rocking up at our place and probably dropping like food essentials with a uniform, food. So we didn't really have a relationship. We'd just chill there like in the driveway and we'd probably take a picture or so, and then we leave whatever we had.
Yes.
So when you left, we really did not have a relationship. I just remember though thinking, why would he just leave his job only to go study, of course, having us to take care of? It just didn't make sense to me, and that was the only question that I had. And I don't really think you actually set us down, as young as we were, of course. I don't think you actually set us down and say, okay, this is why I'm doing this. So we had just to assume exactly what was the end goal from this. And then coming back, even then, I don't remember you sitting down and actually explaining to us what actually, got you to the decision of saying, I want to leave and actually further my studies at that age, having kids. Only later on then did I actually understand what exactly prompted you to do that.
Yes.
So how I felt, I was really indifferent. The only thing that I really had was, why would he do that? But it was just a question that nobody could answer for me at that point.
At that point.
So.
Yeah, I remember coming back from overseas. Obviously, I think you were still young again, but I just want maybe to share your thoughts around, your journey of experiencing us getting together, getting to know one another as well, and also with your sisters and brothers, and how did that look for you, and how did you experience it?
So as I said, when we were very young, we split up, of course. I went to one aunt, my brother also went to another aunt.
Yes.
So then as well, we were still young, so I didn't really have a relationship with them. Even my sister, Ayanda, I didn't really know her very well until, of course, we grew up, and then we started trying to have some kind of a relationship. Me coming here, for some reason, I don't know, you seem to me as this person that everybody just respected so much they didn't want to step on their toes kind of thing. So I was very anxious coming to live with you, not having spent any time or not having had any relationship with you. So it was a huge step that I was like, okay, fine, I'm living with this person that I know is my father, but I don't really know what it's all about. What is expected of me from him. Of course, being the person that in the family is respected so much. So I had a lot of anxiety. But I think it worked out well. I've learned a lot from living with you for those years. One was for me, I think, you just taught me to just do whatever makes you happy, and I saw that from you didn't care what people thought, and I think you still don't. As long as it makes you happy, I mean, you just go for it. And I think also one thing that I would definitely always take with me is how much family is. I think you always say, without family, really, you're nothing. I always say this to my dad, to my friends, that Dad will make sure that every month he goes home, whether it's flying or driving home. Then they'll ask, like, but who's home? And I was like, but with Dad, it doesn't matter who's there.
It doesn't matter.
He just has to, exactly, still home.
Yeah.
And then they always worry, like, okay, like, so he just goes there to just be home. Like, for him, I think that brings him peace. So that's one thing we've really instilled.
I'm sure you've had friends or partners in your life that were also, whose dads were also absent. How would you advise them to also reach out, because I always say, relationships are a two-way street, whether it's father to daughter, father to son. What advice would you give other girls your age or even younger who find themselves very, very distant and lost and not having access to their dads? What did you advise them to do?
I would definitely, encourage them to reach out. I think having a father figure in my life particularly has shaped the way I look at men.
Okay.
And you spoke about me dating, of course.
Sure.
I think I kind of try, because I think you're my role model to some extent, so I'll try and find some aspect of you in them, because I look up to you so much. So I'll definitely encourage that. It does, make a huge difference. It shapes you to the person that I think from now, it's shaping to the person that I am. I don't think I'll be the same had you not been in my life.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we were talking with one of the dads yesterday when we were shooting the season 1 about, the relationships with their kids as well. Have you thought about how moving forward? Of course, we're not perfect as a family. How we could improve communication, relationships, and doing activities together as a family, not just you and me, but other family, including my other kids. And how does that impact the bond between us when we do stuff together?
Yeah, I think for the longest of time we did try to go on family trips as a family, but I think it was one way, because you would always be the one trying to have us go and all of that. We never, as children, I think we're grown enough to actually say, yo, Dad, let's go somewhere, and actually have us as well chip in, So I think it was a one-way thing in terms of that, and having to just spend time as a family. So going forward, I think that's something that we need to work on as children, to also just initiate such things, whether it's just being in a household with all of us are together, or just going, even if it's just for a weekend. So definitely, and I think it does really strengthen the bond between us and you as our father.
By the way, if you don't know, not long ago, my last birthday, Mapha and her sister organized a Thanksgiving at my house down in KZN. This was July this year.
Yeah,
yes,
July.
Just days after my birthday, which was a massive thing for me. And no one in our family had ever done something like that. I just want you to know that meant a lot to me, because I felt that, and I always say, thank people while they're alive and express gratitude while they can hear.
Yeah.
And almost you wanna, hear the appreciation from the family while you still can respond and appreciate it. So I want you to know that meant a lot for me. But what inspired you to do that, and what thinking went behind it?
It was just that, honestly, in not so many words, just to say thank you. Looking back, I think I realized that as much as we ask and we think, but why wouldn't he give this? Because he can afford it, or stuff like that. But I think looking back, I had to realize some of the sacrifices we had to take for us to either go to school, to be close, to be under a roof and all of that. And I don't think you necessarily had to give us everything we had, because I think we had more than, an average person would probably need. But you did it because you loved us and you saw us fit to have those things. So I think it was just only fair, and only right for me and my sisters to just say thank you. And as you touched on, I think many people thank their parents or whoever when they can't really appreciate that thankfulness, or
maybe they're sick, or
they're sick, and they think, okay, this is my last chance kind of thing, I wanted really to just, or we wanted rather, to just thank you while you can actually still receive it, to show that we do appreciate it, and we do acknowledge some of the stuff that you had probably to go through and sacrifice for us to be who we are today.
No, thanks. I want us to close almost, but also your mom passed while I was overseas, and you were fairly young. I think you had just finished university. I just wanted to touch on that. I mean, what kind of experience that was for you, and if it pushed you away from me as a dad, or it got you closer, and how did that?
So it was actually when I was still in high school.
Still in high school?
Yeah, I think I was in grade 10.
I forgot. It's a long time.
It was a long time ago. I think it was 2006, yeah?
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah, then you were still in the UK. I remember that you had known about it, and because I think you're communicating with my aunt.
Yeah, with my sister.
Yeah, so when they told me, I was like, did Dad know about this? Because I think they told me like 2 days after, because everybody was just so scared to tell me.
Yeah.
So then the question was like, did Dad know about this? And then like, yeah. So I was like, but why would you guys keep it away from me for 2 days? And everybody's like, why you were just scared? I'm like, Dad was scared to even tell me that as well. I'm like, why though? But I was really close with my mom. I think every holiday she made sure if she doesn't fetch me, she would put me in a train back then. From Durban to Stanger, I remember the last days, of course, when she was sick, I'd come and I'd still sleep in the same bed with her, and I could see her, of course, that she was really sick, and of course it hurt me and everything, but it was never to a point that I thought probably she would leave anytime soon. I remember also asking, why wasn't I told when she eventually got admitted and that her situation was, but of course I was young, and I think everybody also thought that she would just pull through, and so she didn't. It wasn't nice, of course. I think it's not nice losing a parent, especially a mom that I was very close to. But yeah, I mean, it happened. We all die, I guess.
And the fact that we have a family system that is a support system, and I'm glad that you've lived with my sisters, and then even when I was busy, running after my careers, they were there. Would you say we have a support system that works for you, even if I had to go again, which I'm not going to do because I'm retiring soon. I'm sure you've got now cousins that you can reach out to.
Yeah.
And you want to talk a little bit about the support system that we have in the family, and how is that supporting you improve the relationship between you and your dad?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think my aunts and my sisters, I call them sisters because I don't believe in this cousin, what was not.
They are your sisters.
They are my sisters. I think they've definitely, they've been my rock at times where I really, was not doing well. I think I've pulled through most of the stuff that I have pulled through because of that support system. You remember, I got very sick last year, I think, after my sister passed on and all of that. And honestly, the support they actually gave me, just, knowing that if I want to talk, they doesn't really have to be financial with them.
Yeah.
I think just the emotional support that they provide, and
they
talk
about anything.
I can always run to them if I'm in need, or I just want to vent, kind of thing. So it's definitely helped me in the most difficult situations.
I've seen that. Yeah, you guys are like a community.
We're very close.
Last thing. Yesterday, you were part of the launch of this in the Dads Network season 1, and you met a lot of my friends, most of whom are single dads themselves. How would you say, dads out there that are raising kids on their own or maybe with someone else could benefit from a network of this kind or a community of this kind? I know you haven't been very much involved, but based on what you saw yesterday, how would you say this community can assist those people that are struggling or that are navigating this territory of fatherhood?
Yeah, I think you think that you're going through the most until you hear somebody else's story, and you can see that probably what I'm going through is probably just a fraction of what other people are going through there on the other side. So yesterday, hearing the stories from different fathers, I think that will really help them to say maybe they're not alone, kind of thing. There's people out there that are actually facing the same issues that they're facing, and together we can overcome. We're trying to share information and insights and advices that you guys probably will have for each other. So they'll definitely learn from that.
I like that, also me hearing stories from other dads. And also, I was telling my friend that I was very exhausted by the time we went home. But hearing those stories and also sharing my own journey was actually enlightening. And you being there and listening to them, I just hope that you took something from that. And I'm sure you and my other kids and Ayanda specifically, and I'm hoping that you're gonna be part of the journey.
Yeah.
Continue to support us, because I'm very passionate about impacting other dads positively on this journey.
Yeah.
I'd like you to continue to support us, and thanks again for being there yesterday. I appreciate it.
No worries. Glad to be there.
Great.
Thank you. Love you too.
Cheers.
I wanted water so bad and I couldn't.
Now I can tell you're your father's daughter.
Why? Why?
Come on to her. Because I thought your cameras are low, but that's fine. Love you a lot. Why?
Well, let me get a picture.
Oh, wow.
Picture. Love you.